Hello and good evening. Let me just make sure that the sound is muted on my other monitor over there that I've got. Make it through. No, it's not. So I'll do that quickly. There you go. You didn't even notice. It's seamless. Absolutely seamless. Right. Hello and welcome to an evening with the gang. This is me, Chris, Gross Models. Look, see again. With me this evening, we have, if I can click the button so it's not locked on me anymore, we have Fox back again.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Because he's got more things to sand and stuff.
I'm going to be doing live stream sanding for weeks. Trust me.
Far much more done on my streams than he does on his own. So, and also joining us again this week, we have one of my lovely patrons, George.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's also doing sanding and stuff, but he hasn't taken off the sprue yet.
well, it's because of the beads. You sand
right.
it on the sprue so that you can get the round bits and then pull them off after.
That's
I
easy.
can hear Chris glazing over.
No,
Right.
I've done Zaku beads. I know exactly.
Oh, that's true.
I know,
That's true. You have done
I know the
Zaku.
history of Zaku beads, so yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Zaku beads. Oh.
I didn't have a problem. I mean, it's the first time I'd done them, so it was all new and exciting to me. So it wasn't exactly a, oh no, I'm going to have to do them. It was just, that's what they are. So whether or not anyone else joins throughout the course of the next hour and a half, who knows? If not, then there's at least three of us here. So, you know, we'll talk amongst ourselves. They'll probably talk about Gunpla and stuff, and I'll go quietly to sleep. So
I'll put your Patreon link in chat for you, Chris. I'll bring it up in there.
Oh, thank you. That's easier than me doing some typing.
Yeah.
Yes. Obviously, this is an evening with the gang. With added patrons. Look, there's one there. George is one of my lovely patrons. As an added perk, any of my people that give me money every month are welcome to come and join in. So there's a couple of them that said they might, and this week I've got a couple of new patrons as well. So my patron page is growing. Get in quick before it fills up. It doesn't fill up, but so in evening we had Pascal. Obviously he was in, I don't know, yesterday or something. As soon as I looked and saw if anyone was coming in, Pascal was already here. So he's been here for ages. George is there as well, but he's here as well. So you know he can type or use his real mouth. Fox is there as well, using his fingers, but again, he's got a mouth he can use as well. We have Sprue Glues coming in.
I posted your link in the chat.
Lovely, thank you. I'll get to that.
That's Chris's Patreon. Go and become a patron.
Yeah, give me money.
Because patrons are awesome.
They are. Right, so Sprue Glues in. AJ is also in. And Johnny M. And Swigging Pig, Mickle Pickle, Bradley C. Dad's in, being all modest in there as well. And there's Fox putting in my Patreon link, which he's even spelt right. That's impressive.
That's because I copied and pasted it.
Right, there we go. And Shane Youngs is in saying good evening, Chris and all. Shane's also another patron. So and that's one of my new patrons. So yeah, there we go. So we've got more patrons than anyone else in chat. If you're not a patron and you're in the chat, you're outnumbered. So go and quick join up.
Saw that
out. Right. So yes, Pascal says, yeah, George, not sure if it will turn out good. Planning to print them myself. Have you been talking about things?
Oh yeah, making a decal for the 40th anniversary with Zaku.
A 40-year Gundam logo. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm very big on the Xeon side, as we discussed a little bit yesterday. So
out.
I would want one of those if he's making them.
I'm going to drift off to sleep quietly now.
Yeah. All right. Yep.
Yeah, I've built Gundams, like two. I don't know, Zaku's not a Gundam, is it? You're going to get in trouble for that. That's a mobile suit.
It's a mobile suit, but it's part of Gundam. I can send you some of these if you need more to build.
I've got one sitting in my stash over there, the RX 72.
78 too.
78 too.
72
8. Yeah, one of them. I've got one of them sitting over there because Paul got loads of them from some cheap deal thing. They sent them all the same instead of sending a selection of them.
Oh, wasn't that a loot crate?
It was a loot crate or something like that. Yeah. They said get 5 things, and he got 5 things, and they're all exactly the same. Yeah. So I've got that to build at some point. I've already done like 2, 3. I've done 3. Look, I've got the bear guy. You can see his head there. I've got an ashtray sitting at the edge there, a little red one. And I've got the Zaku that I did for remodels. So I've done them. I have them. I've got a load. Yeah, it's all sorted.
In the same way that you said you were never going to do Warhammer, you said you were never going to do Gunpla, but now you
I
have.
didn't say I was never going to do it. I just did it, and the Warhammer is only because people have sent me stuff. You
You bought things since then.
I haven't bought any models.
That will happen. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it won't. I'm hoping when I get to the end of this one, someone will send me another one.
Well,
Hey,
Could
that's a
have.
good model to have.
the number of times you go into the Warhammer store, it will happen. Don't worry.
I've been into the Warhammer store and not bought models. It's
That's
easy.
because you've got models to build. As soon as you haven't got one to build, you'll be like, oh.
Dad's saying I'm looking very brightly backlit there. It's daytime. It's still sunny outside.
It
It's
is.
been sunny all day, and that's a window. I've tried to cover it up with posters, but there's still some light gets into this room. I had a change around. I changed up my posters a little bit, as you may see. That's still the Warhammer one because I thought I'd better do that. But the blueprint one, the one that I've had up there for like the last 2 years, was actually one that Dad sent me. That's come down temporarily. It's stored. It's not thrown away. It's in storage. It's ready to go back up. But I put the X-wing one up there. That's the Agostini
Bigger than you
180
expect.
scale X-wing because I'm building it. I'm building it now. Well, not now. I've built it. Look. That's it. This is the first 2 issues of the build an X-wing. That's the cockpit canopy thing.
Jesus crikey.
It's of a decent size, we should say.
Where are you gonna display that when it's done?
And it's R2, so yeah. Where am I going to display it? Not so much display as the store, I think, is the answer. I don't know. I've got the Falcon over there, and it's about the same size.
Is it going to be a model with its own storage unit?
No, it's going to go on top of the Falcon somehow, probably. Because the Falcon's 143rd, but obviously a much bigger ship. So I think the X-Wing is actually about the same, maybe a little bit larger than the Falcon.
Oh,
We'll find out when it gets built. And
no.
don't give me that. You knew the size.
I did. Well, I had some numbers, but numbers mean nothing.
So yeah, it's still daytime, so that's why it's right behind me. It no doubt over the next half hour or so, it will sort of fade down to darkness.
See, Chris has got windows because he's all bourgeois and sudden.
Oh, you've got a window, it's just that we can't see it. We can
Yeah,
only see
true.
your hands.
That's true. You aliens.
Sergeant Bones is in as well now, just coming. Says, "Oi, Chris, Fox Dad, everyone. You must be everyone, George.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
If you're regular enough, people will get to know you, and they'll know your name.
Yeah.
Your name only comes up when you do the talking bit. Otherwise, it's just a little picture of you down there. So if you do more talking, people will see the name more, and they'll actually start using your name.
So we just
Like
shot
they don't
to let him go.
Like they don't use my name on eModels Monday. They just say him or the other guy. Or yeah.
The wee little fella.
Let's see. Spruglu says he's got a question. He says, "What posters did you have on your walls as teenagers?"
So for me, that would be Britney Spears.
Oh God.
I mean, she's the same age as I am. So when I was a teenager, she was also a teenager.
That's no excuse. Same age as me.
Yeah, I don't know. It was people like that, like teen female pop stars, because I was a young man with hormones and all that.
Okay, that's a better explanation.
Yeah, that's what I had.
The only poster I remember having on my wall as a teenager was for the Lamborghini Countach, because it was just such a nice car. I'm never going to have one, unless anybody wants to send me one. But no.
Nice.
I can send you
Bit 144 version, yeah.
So I was a bit later than you then, because I was in the 80s. I was more of an 80s kid. So I had the 308 Quattro Valvole. The 308 Quattro Valvole, the Ferrari.
Is it
big sleek red car?
Nickel Pickle says that thing's going to be mahoosive.
Yes. What, the X-Wing?
Yeah, he's not wrong. I've got another, because I did the test runs on it. I've got another blueprint poster here, which is to scale. So let me open that up for you. And you
I don't know why I'm worried, because my workbench is twice the size of yours.
There we go. That's it to scale. So it's going to be about that big.
Duh.
Whoa.
Wait, doesn't Dragon do a load of figures in 1/18, like action figures, like World War II articulated, highly detailed action figures?
Do they?
You could technically buy one, and somehow, if they don't provide you with a pilot, I'm sure somebody will sell a 1/18 scale pilot for that.
I don't know. Well, it's Luke's X-wing.
Yeah.
So they don't say that there's going to be a pilot.
There probably won't be.
Have a quick look. I have the series guide, which is obviously what's going on. There's no picture of a pilot in there. There's R2, obviously.
Yeah, there probably won't be a pilot.
I'm not expecting there to be a pilot. They do. No, there's no pilot in there. All details about everything else going on. They have the premium subscription.
Ooh.
The normal subscription, they send you some free gifts for subscribing, which is always on these things. The premium one, you get some dudes. You get a couple of dudes sitting down and one playing with some wires and some wires which have got some lights on it and a little thing and some packing crates. And it only costs you an extra £1 per issue for all that. So it's costing you £100. It's really not worth it on that one. Some of the premium things do seem to be worth it. They're quite nice, but I don't see £100 extra in that at all.
Yeah, it's like my Warhammer Conquest. For the extra you pay whatever a year over the course of the thing, but you get like quality thick playing mats, and you get loads of nice dice, and you get all data cards for all the units that you're going to build over the course of the thing. So you get all like gameplay related bonuses that are actually quite mint, and you also get things like painting handles and more brushes than everybody else. So the Warhammer ones are actually quite a good deal, but that couple of bits of scenery.
Yeah, there's nothing there that you couldn't pick up a lot cheaper elsewhere, or in the case some of the packing crates or whatever, scratch build and make look better than that anyway. So
somebody somewhere will no doubt make a 1/18 scale Luke in flight suit and helmet, so you can stick him in the cockpit.
I'm sure they will, or I can maybe find a file and 3D print one.
Yeah, true. But the fact that your workspace is at least a quarter of the size of mine makes me much happier now.
Yeah, well, when I was building the Falcon, I didn't even have a workspace at all. I was doing it in front of the telly, basically, just getting stuff out wherever I need and just putting it down somewhere.
Yeah, but you were filming it. That's the difference, isn't it?
This is also true here. Well, I managed to build the R2 and film that, and that's half scale. That stands so tall.
Well, that's true.
Some of that was moderately challenging.
Tallness is not the problem; it's the wideness, or as the description says, the large.
Large.
Well, they're not wrong. It is fairly large, so yes.
The official description, for those that don't know, the official description of it describes it as 65.2 centimeters wide and 74.6 centimeters large.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
Yeah.
Sergeant Bones saying about posters, he says, I'm too old for Britney. It was Led Zeppelin, Sabbath, Pink Floyd, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shane says sports cars and motorcycles on his walls.
See, I was weird because I had like the 308 Quattrovalvole as the nice shiny car that everybody had a nice shiny sports car, Ferrari, Lamborghini in the 80s. But I also had a Who Framed Roger Rabbit poster I stole from a cinema. I had a collection of posters from buses that I just stole from buses, and they were usually about like transportation. I've got one on my wall now; it's still on my wall, and it's about a conference in 1985 for what would happen in the event of a nuclear war in Manchester. I've treasured that. I took it off a bus in 1985, and I've still got it.
It's thievery.
Yeah, and loads of weird little posters like that. I was weird as a kid. I was a strange child.
John O.M. has some questions. A question. He says, in regards to the Boom Hut page, would some model Steam stuff be out of place?
Nope. No. The Model Maker's Boom Hut is for every kind of model making.
Got glass blowers in there.
Yep. I've said before, we've got people in the Boom Hut who do glass blowing. So we don't often see anything, but we've got puppet makers and glass blowers. We've got people whose entire thing seems to be stripping paint off things.
I think Jono was the one that had the 144 tug radio controlled.
Oh, the little squeaky thing.
Little thing in the boot, in the bath.
In the boot.
In the bath. Sorry,
I was actually watching that video in the Boom Hut because I was in the Boom Hut earlier on, and I didn't have the sound on, and it looked adorable. Little whizzing around, and I was like, "It's going in circles." That's how I drive about. Then I turned the sound on. It was like, "Wow, what's that?" Making this high pitched noise. It was fantastic.
Yeah. So Mickle Bickle had cars and planes and puzzles I glued and put in frames.
Ooh,
that's
cool.
A bit posh. We use Blue Tack. And Sprue Glue's off to nick a bus.
Nick a bus. I did lots of drawings and things that I put on my wall myself as well. Some of my own drawings and things.
No, they should go on the fridge.
I had anything with animals on it. I had a load of book. I went to the bookstore and said, "Have you got any posters you're throwing out from books and stuff?" And there was like ones with animals and things, so I took all them. Just anything that filled up my space. I had some Iron Maiden posters, but not because I liked Iron Maiden. I couldn't stand Iron Maiden, but I liked the artwork. I like Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
That was quite good.
Yeah, he's quite distinctive, isn't he?
I had Stranger in a Strange Land and I had Aces High. They were two good posters. And I used to look at the weathering on the Spitfire cockpit in the Aces High poster and think, I wonder how I could do that on a model.
Oh, Colin's in at Festa 67's workshop. Evening,
hey, Colin. Evening, dude.
Evening.
So I can report that freezing the Zaku beads made it a little bit easier for the first couple. And the rest of them were just as difficult, and I still have a bruise on my finger.
Is it that they're not cold anymore?
Well, it could be that I froze it overnight. It is, well, it's 68 Fahrenheit. I don't know what that translates into centigrade.
Hot, I think.
Hot?
Damn hot.
Yeah, damn hot. Yeah.
Damn
hot. I'm gonna look it up because that's cold. Like that's what you have your AC on for the summer. Or it's not cold. It's cool. Like 72 to 68 is where you keep your AC. Now I gotta look it up.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Because Mama Fox has got a clock in her room that's a thermometer, and it was stuck on Fahrenheit and then randomly changed to centigrade, and it was always about 60 degrees in the winter. So that's probably about between 10 and 15 degrees.
It says 68 is 20 Celsius, so it's warm. Or I don't know if that's warm to you guys.
It's warm.
Anything 20 is considered warm to hot.
Yeah. So it could be that it unfroze, but it froze. I let it freeze overnight. The beginning ones just could have been easy, just on a fluke. They could have just been easy whether I froze it or not. So
this is, in case anybody missed it, George has been having fun with Zaku beads. They come on the sprue, but stuck on a tube on the sprue. He'll be able to show us more than I can describe it. Let me click on him there. So, yeah, they come like that, and you have to get them off before you can put them on something else.
Yeah, you slide them from here up and around to there. So they come with a big like this. So you have to cut that off, and then you sand them on here, and then you pull them. But if you look, you can see here how this has little bumps.
Little lumps in between each one. So
yeah, so pulling them causes your fingers to bruise, or at least mine to bruise.
Apparently that's not normal. I've only done one. It wasn't like that, but Fox has done many.
No, it's not normal. That I can't think of a way you'd actually easily get them off though, because I know if the Zaku beads are going to be polystyrene, I would suspect.
Yeah, they are. It says
the actual strip thing is polyethylene. You need something that can get rid of the polyethylene without, but then you just have a big pile of Zaku beads, and you'd be sad then.
Yeah, you do need some of the polyethylene. This section right here that you slide it onto, you want to save that.
Yeah.
So get off of this straight part. That's cool.
I think you just have to man up and make your fingers tougher.
Yeah,
it's like learning to play guitar. You're gonna have blisters before.
Oh no, these are my guitar fingers here.
Use them.
I finger pick everything because I play classical guitar, so it's the bones that are bruising underneath.
Ew.
Not just the tips.
Yeah, you need to start playing electric guitar then. That would be the answer.
Is this like when you're trying to get the lid off a Tamiya paint and you haven't got a thing to open jars, so you have to do it with your hands, and your hands get that burning sensation?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not pleasant.
I'm officially hating this particular specific piece of my Sazabi kit.
You have been doing that bit for a little while, I've noticed.
I've been doing it since before we went live, and it's just an absolute pain in the butt to sand and not get scratches on, and I hate every moment of sanding this. I'm just despising this piece. I think it's the for the shotgun, but I don't know. I don't know what you call that bit. The
oh yeah, I don't know.
The pump action bit.
The cocking bit. Yeah.
I could be wrong. I just hate this particular piece of plastic with a vengeance. It's my nemesis.
AJ has a question that both of you might be able to answer. He says, just trying to decide if it's worth splashing out £300 plus on the perfect grade Falcon.
Yes.
What does the kit give you that the £50 Revel alternative hasn't got?
The Revel alternative is okay, here we go. The Revel Master Series Millennium Falcon is the old Fine Molds Millennium Falcon kit, rebranded as Revel. It's a beautiful kit. However, it's not as accurate in terms of details as the Bandai. It's also the Empire Strikes Back Falcon with 5 legs, whereas the Bandai one is the New Hope one with 3 legs. And the Bandai is push fit and snap fit, whereas the Revell one is a proper glue kit. It is a beautiful kit. The Fine Molds is a legendary. For many, many years, it was the most accurate Falcon kit out there. But it's 20 years old now. It's old. It's not as accurate as the Bandai one. I personally would say the Bandai one's your better bet, because the Bandai one comes with lighting for a start for about the same price. Same price. Bandai one is push fit, lots more detail, highly detailed, much more accurate, and comes with lighting and water slide decals and stuff. I mean, I've built 2 of the Fine Molds kits of those, which is now the Revell Master Series, whatever they call it, Falcons, and they are really good kits. Part A22 is a living nightmare because it'll ping off everywhere, but it's a nice kit. It's not as accurate. If you're into accuracy, it's not as accurate.
AJ says, but it's only £50.
Oh, hang on. Which one is he talking about?
The cheap one.
Oh, in that case, if it's not the one that costs 300 quid, it's a piece of junk. Don't buy it.
I think he's talking the Revel one's 50.
Oh yeah, any Revell Star Wars kit that isn't their Master Series is a piece of junk. Don't buy it.
Yeah. There's a reason that it's that much cheaper, and it's not because it's a great saving.
Here's the basic guide. If you've got a choice between a Bandai and a Revell kit, and they're the same size and scale, if the Revell kit is not one of the Master Series kits, then it's 100% Revell and it's a piece of crap. Don't bother. Get the Bandai instead if there's a Bandai option. If there's no Bandai equivalent, then go ahead and get the Revell because it's all you've got. But if it's a Master Series, like so, they've got a TIE Fighter, an X-Wing, and the Falcon. They are all the Fine Molds kits, so they're really good kits, but they're very expensive. But if you've ever got a choice between Revell and Bandai, go for Bandai.
Yeah, sounds like a good deal. Yeah. Colin says, congratulations on the 2K to me. As I was just thinking about mentioning, actually, so thanks for the reminder, Colin. I've got over 2,000 subscribers on YouTube now. Yeah. 2008 when I looked this afternoon. So
that's almost a decade ago.
Wow. Almost, yeah. Soon we will be going into the future in my subscribers.
Nobody can tell what's going to happen.
I've done a giveaway type promotion thing. There's a video, not this one, obviously, the one before this one, just a short 2-minute or so video telling you how you can win one of my mugs. I'm giving away one of my officially branded Gross Models drinking utensils for free. All you have to do is watch the video and do what it says. It's not anything difficult. It's basically commenting on the video. Yeah, do that. And on the next but one of these shows, Thursday the 30th, I shall be doing the random YouTube comment picker thing, if I can find it. Fox will tell me where it is. The random comment, random picker. So randomly pick one of the comments, and they will win. And Fox has just joined this video call for some reason.
I was just refreshing because it was locked on. It was locking on George for me. It wasn't changing.
Okay. You missed the bit where I said that I was going to get you to tell me how to do the random comment picker thing again.
Oh, okay. I'll get you how to do it.
Yeah, I just need to find the link again. I'll just Google it. But yeah, not the one after, not next week, but the week after, at the end of the month, when it's open to everyone, I shall be randomly picking comments, a comment to win a mug. So go and put a comment on there. You've got a couple of weeks to do it. But yeah.
Congratulations on the 2,000 subscribers.
Thank you all for subscribing. I assume you're all subscribing if you're watching, because otherwise, why would you be watching?
Yeah.
You definitely want one of those gross modeled mugs before he's forced to change his name, since he's not doing 144 scale anymore.
I'm still doing 144 scale.
They'll just become generalist models. I've got a bit of a conundrum.
Really?
Yeah, I've got this part here, and it's got no nub marks on it at all whatsoever.
What do you do with it then? Why is it orange? None of the other bits in there are orange.
It came off a sprue, and I haven't touched it yet, but it has no nub marks at all.
Are you
sure? I don't know how that's even occurred.
Are you sure it's a bit of a model kit? It's not fallen off of something else?
Yeah. How weird. John O says, by the way, John O M says, excellent, thank you. The page is brilliant. Had a look around after being accepted. I think he's talking about the Boom Hut. Yes, that was me with the bathtub tug.
Yes,
I watched.
I remember things sometimes.
Video, fantastic info. Thank you very much.
I'm not sure why Sergeant Bones' comment of "and comment like and germ" was held for review.
I don't know if anybody, just because I have the same on mine. If anybody ever sees that their comment gets held for review, it's not us. It's YouTube.
Yeah, I went to say it was okay, and one of the other mods has already done it. So
yeah. Sometimes people say rude words on mine, and it holds it, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. But sometimes it just holds the most random comment.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a link, then it will get held. But that's it, as you say.
Yes. Oh, I know why. It's because he had like 18 pairs of quotation marks in the statement.
Is it? They don't like them.
It's an indication of spam.
Oh, is it? Okay.
If you have lots and lots of quotation marks, because it's not normal to have like 35.
Four.
Well, you know, but he's doing ironic bunny ears, which doesn't really come across normally in typing. So
okay.
Bunny ears.
Mickle Pickle says, I just have to say I am mesmerised by George's stash.
Yeah, we were talking about this before we went live, and George has got a different camera angle to how he was last week.
Yeah, basically when he appeared on screen, me and Chris were like, holy Jesus on a stick.
Yeah.
I think I'll look at the guided tour, George. I think we need to give us a walk around tour.
You know, so
it just gives us
of video games that I showed you a picture of that's just shelves and shelves of video games is right out there. Once I get a couple build videos up, which I'm working on now, I plan on doing a full tour of my basement, which is my area.
Who's got 4 hours to watch a video like that?
Yeah, and yeah, when you see what's on the other side over there, you guys are gonna crap your pants. Well, if you like video games and stuff like that, and like nerd collectibles, it's we'll
hate you a little bit.
Bizarrely, I actually quite like videos where the channel person on the shows you around their stash and stuff, because I sat and watched Zach Aurelius do that in his little workshop area. Because he's got Zach's got a billion things in his shelves. And I even did who's that? Who's the one that does the build videos with the really bad microphone? I can't remember her name. She's been around forever.
I don't know.
Her name?
Yeah, the
Gunpla Melly.
Is
it Gunpla Melly?
No, it's
the only female I know.
Really terrible microphone. Usually not a great camera either. Been going for years and years and years. Has like 8 trillion Gunpla.
Yeah, I don't know, but if you figure out who it is, let me know. Because
I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, I watched her do a tour of her stash once. It was like about 3 hours long, and I still haven't watched it. It's fascinating.
Jono says, I'm finding I can't see other comments this time. Hope I'm not late. I set my alarm for 4:50 a.m. hoping I'd get on the start of your stream. Well, you're here. We've only been gone for like 25 minutes, so you got in quite early. Might not be right at the very start. Make sure you go to
the top of the chat window and select live chat as well, not top chat.
It doesn't always load any previous comments other than when you've just come in. It'll only go back a certain distance, so
yeah,
don't worry.
Well, do go up to top and choose live chat, not top. Top chat is just the most popular comments, which is pointless because they're
apparently it isn't. It actually says, I'm just clicking on it now to see what it says. It says live chat is all messages are visible. Top chat says some messages, such as potential spam, may not be visible.
Oh, okay.
So apparently it's still live and in the same order and everything, but it might not show spam. But the other one might.
It's just more for us that than anybody else.
I don't think it makes any real noticeable difference to anyone. So
no, okay, I'll show up.
For me, it cut off a bunch of people's. Like I just switched from top to live when you were talking about Jono, and I was like, I can't see him. So I noticed I was in top chat. So it does filter quite a bit.
It decided that he was spam, did it?
Apparently, well, but a couple other people who you've been talking to, I couldn't see their comments until I switched over. So
that's very strange.
So did you go to live or from live?
I was in top chat. I just went to live about 15 minutes ago. Yeah.
It seems to default to top chat for some reason, but
it's a bit like Facebook when it defaults to not every single comment on a post, which is really annoying. Hey, somebody commented on your post, so I go to one of the posts I've made and to look at the comments, and it says, "Oh, top comments." No, show me all the comments, or just make me press a button 15 times. I hate that.
And the bit where it shows you most of the post, but then click see more, and there's like 2 extra lines.
Yeah, and then,
irrespective of how many lines it's shown you, it might have shown you 10 and there's 2 extra, or it might have shown you 3 and there's 2 extra.
And I hate the bit on Facebook when you go into your like notifications if you're a page owner, and it says. You look at your notifications. Oh, Bob Smith commented on one of your pictures, so you click on it, it opens up in a little pop-up, and you can read it, and you're great. Then it says Ted commented on one, and you click on that, and it takes to a whole new tab, and I'm like, wait, what? No, and then it doesn't even show you where the comment is, and I'm like, oh, Facebook, just
Yeah, there's no need for it. It's
Yeah.
very strange.
first world issues.
Yeah, Jono was in Top Chat, but yeah, I don't know that it makes a great deal of difference.
No, don't sing it.
Top Chat,
Yeah.
the indisputable leader of the gang.
Yeah,
was it?
I was
Yeah.
about to start singing it, and then I thought, no, it's not my channel. It will lose monetization.
I don't think it's. I think the 12p that I'm going to make out of this video is almost worth it for you to sing. Yeah, you were gonna give us a tour of your stash, George. So I'll click back on you again, and you can show everybody, point things out to people.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to move; you can just use your fingers. But I see there's a falcon there. I know about that.
Yeah. So, hold on. Here we
It's
go.
always difficult doing that.
To start at the beginning. In the beginning, there were dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Then they died. We made plastic out of them.
So I have this here is my works in progress. So I'm working on a mega size unicorn, a mega size Grandpa Gundam. I don't know what that is. The Hashmo from IBO, Yagadoga, High Res, Astray. Over here we've got the perfect grade Astray Red Frame Kai, the perfect grade 007 sword, the perfect grade Millennium Falcon. Here, this whole row is mainly little petite guys and Haros that my kids build.
Haro.
So if my workstation is here, it's kind of off the camera, you can't see, but this one is for one of my kids, and then there's one right next to it over there, and that's
what's the big thing with yellow wings on that one?
Oh, that's my master grade Freedom Mercy version from Overwatch. So that I posted up on the Boom Hut. This was my 5th build. What I'm building right now is my 6th build. So
see, I know what that means. Master grade Freedom Gundam Mercy.
Yeah. Sprugo's with me. He says the only word I understood was Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. But yeah, so these are like little ball dudes, and then little teddy bear guys, and my kids built those in the super deformed, and then down here, these two. This is difficult. Down here is all high grades from Build Fighters and Build Divers. Way over here is a stack of real grades. There's some Kshatriyas. These are all Star Wars kits and a Voltron. And then we get into master grades all over here. There's some UC high grades right here. Then the Deep Striker, Psycho Zaku, Clear, Exclusive, Expo, Sazabi, normal Sazabi, Nightingale. Next to that, more of her COD kits, more master grades, more master grades. This is a lot of.
Jono says that you should be a weather presenter.
Yeah.
Have you got a light pressure system coming from the north?
Yeah.
I want to know where all the planes are. Where's the planes and the tanks?
Yeah, so I haven't started those yet. To give a background, I just started modeling in May of last year. So all of this happened
accidentally
in 1 year. Yeah, and I posted pictures on the Boom Hut of my workstations and all the paints and stuff that I have. Like I don't know what moderation, or my brain doesn't understand moderation. So I either do a thing completely or I don't do a thing at all. So that's how this happened. Eventually, I hope to get into tanks. I'm really big into armor, which is why I started mobile armor, and then maybe someday planes. But my favorite plane is a Warthog, and there's only so many A10 models you can build. The rest of them I just like the big ugly ones, I guess. I do like the F-22. Is that what it is?
The Raptor, I think.
The Raptor, yeah.
Raptor.
In fact, I was pretty psyched when Starscream was one of those in one of the Michael Bay Transformer movies.
Oh dear.
You could talk about Transformers for a bit. That turned Fox off.
Can I just point out that when you said my ball guys and my teddy bear guys, I knew exactly what you meant.
Yeah.
I know the teddy bear guys because that's the head of one of them there. But
these are
that's a bear guy.
Like, for instance, my kid right now is working on this one. So it's kind of a teddy bear guy, but they're really small compared to the one that you built. The one that you built is big, and there's one of them over there, but I don't want to pull it out of the little
Yeah, because
cage.
they're the petite guys, aren't they? Or they're the
Yeah,
girls in petite guy suits, which is kind of bizarre.
Yeah, but it's Japanese, isn't it? So
see, next up they'll have like mobile suits dressed up and done up to look like girls in petite guy suits, just like Inception or something. It'd be really bizarre.
That would be interesting, yeah. So someday I'll expand. I mean, like I said, it's only been a year, and I probably have more models than I can do in my lifetime. My wife would not be very happy, I think, if I picked up a new type of modeling. But every time I go to the model store, I do look at the tanks. I think they're made by Tamiya or Trumpeter. I do look in the tank section because I do want to make. I want to do kind of what you're doing with the 144 scale, but with 1/72, since that's what the perfect grade.
Well, you've got more room to put them, so you're okay with that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna dip your toe into like armor, I would say start with Tamiya because they're just if you're not familiar with glue kits, start with the Tamiya stuff because they're a bit old, but they're nice and straightforward.
They're probably not so much in 1/72 though, is it?
I think they do some. 1/72, you're looking at your Airfix and stuff, which I wouldn't recommend. But if you're dipping your toe in just to like armor kits, just try Tamiya first, because before you go up to the next level of Trumpeter, because Trumpeter's like the next level up.
Yeah,
the old Tamiya stuff are quite straightforward, dead easy to build. I think they do 1/72, but I'm not sure.
I saw one somewhere, and then it made me think, oh, I should copy what Chris is doing, because you can get 1/72 resin conversion kits to make like a 1/72 Yagadoga out of a 160 frame Zaku, because it's so big. So I'd like at some point to see how big these things are compared to other sci-fi.
Yeah. I find that really interesting with the 144 stuff. Seeing the Falcon next to a bear guy and a real tank.
Well, that's the weird thing, isn't it? Because you put a bear guy next to a real tank and it towers over it like it's like 10 stories high or something, and it's a giant teddy bear mobile suit.
Yours, it looks like you have the Papa guy, the one with the little top hat.
Yep.
Is that what? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only one that my kid hasn't built yet, and I just can't find it anywhere.
I just need to point out that like when George was first posting the bin, was like, "Hey, I've just joined this one. I've never built anything. Stash." That's the fastest turnaround from nothing to a stash that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, it was very scary, that.
Yeah.
Where should I get started? Here's my stash. Oh, you've started already. Quite nicely.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
My grandparents, I lived with them for a little while. And, they grew up in the Depression. And when we were kids, they would make us collect things. So we went on a trip around all the United States, and each one of me and my two brothers had to collect something. So I collected spoons, one collected thimbles, and the other one, I don't even remember. And so then in my formative years, right, the beginning of high school, that's when Pokemon came out. Pokemon taught me that if you have one of something, you have to have all of that something.
Yeah.
And so that's just kind of what happened. I'm glad. I used to live in an apartment. I bought this house in September of last year. So I'm glad that now I have lots of space so that I can have this. But before, it was just like every nook and cranny you could look into, there were Gundam kits. And my wife was not happy about that at all.
Yeah,
I need to get some cereal. Oh, there's a Gundam kit in there. I need to get some.
Take a mouthful of Cheerios and like, oh, Zaki beans.
All right, that's a good point. Question for everybody in the chat: do you, or did you collect anything? Be it spoons or Gundam kits or anything else? I collect baseball caps. I've got I don't know, probably 150 baseball caps downstairs on a wall. Basically, if I go somewhere, I try and pick up a cap that is linked to that, be it a place or a theme park or a town or something like that. I try and pick up something like that. So, do any of you collect anything? Have you still got your spoons, George?
My grandparents do somewhere. Their house looks like a hoarder's episode. So my grandma collects bells, and she has something like 8,000 of them. Not even an exaggeration. That's probably underestimating. And so they just have stuff everywhere. They've got like a collection of chairs for reasons unknown to me. So I know that it's there.
How many did you end up having? When you say you collected them, but as a child, it could be anything from like I had 4 to I had
no.
7,000.
I had 48. We visited all 48 states. We just didn't drive up to Alaska or fly to Hawaii. So we just did a road trip around the U.S. and saw anything that was worthwhile seeing. So I had 48 of them.
That's a bit different. If you just said I collect spoons, it's a bit random. I collect a spoon from every state. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And
I mean, are they actually like collectible spoons for every state, or is it just that you went into a diner in?
No. Yeah, no, they're about this big. They're really small miniature spoons. They have the state crest, I think, in the handle, and then something etched into the actual.
I know that it's a thing here that there are like collectible spoon sort of things, but I didn't know it was global, you know.
Collectible
spoons.
I'll use them the next time I need to do paint tests with my airbrush instead of plastic ones.
Yeah, I assume you've joined the model making spoon hut.
I need to.
You need to join there and send pictures of your spoons. Yeah, that'd be great.
For anybody in chat who doesn't realise, there is actually, as well as a model maker's boom hut, there is a model maker's spoon hut, and it is purely about posting up pictures of your spoons that you've done test painting on.
I know we also accept forks.
Okay, forks as well. It was set up as a joke and actually got loads of members, and we're like, okay, that was fun.
What about a fork? Is that acceptable?
Yeah, spork is acceptable. It's hybrid. Yeah.
Any cutlery based test beds will be fine, really. See, when I was a kid, I didn't really collect anything. The only thing I really collected when I got to about 18 was we used to have a Pizza Hut local to us that we hated. It was a horrible place. It was a den of iniquity. So without fail, every time we went there, like usually once a week, me and my mates, I'd go to the toilet and I'd steal the little ignition motor from the strip light. And I'd had a collection of like 200 of them. Just pop the little ignition motor out so the light didn't. I don't know why.
I'm hearing a lot about your youth
Criminal
tonight, and it's all just criminal. You're just stealing stuff. We're everywhere.
Yeah, there's a dark past to me that people don't realise.
Pascal says too much. I collected Pokemon cards, model trains, trashed model kits, and too much figures. Chuck Bush is in. Hi, Chuck. I collect knives, mostly advertising knives. What's an advertising knife?
Like a promotional knife.
Got a good.
That's not a thing that we have here. We have knives, obviously, but I don't know about advertising knives. It's not the sort of thing that come to our stationery shop. We'll give you a knife.
Come to Ted's Flower Shop. Here's an advertising Bowie knife.
Yeah, it's our 20th anniversary. Here's our commemorative knife.
I think this may be an American thing.
I've never seen that. I will throw in that part of. That's a thing I never knew about.
Hallmark doing knives anytime soon.
Phil Keck collects games for the original Xbox.
Ooh.
Shane collects Wade Whimsies. Now, Wade's the ceramic thing, they're pottery things, aren't they?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Whimsies must be like the smaller version of those knick-knack type stuff.
Little knick-knacks and things.
Pascal says, what test painting? Yeah, I mean, if you're trying different colours out or something like that, normally it's traditional to use a plastic spoon, like George has there.
I don't think I think he was actually saying. I think he was actually making more of a.
He doesn't test; he just slaps it on the model.
Yeah, like me,
that might have been the other option. Yeah, but
I don't do test painting. I just go dive in. Way, Geronimo, and see what happens.
Being Pascal gets it right as well.
Yeah.
Spruglu says thievery is wrong, children. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it because it's not cool. It's not big and clever. Look at me, I'm not big, clever, or cool. So see how it turned out for me? Yeah.
Exactly. AJ says Victorian salmon fishing flies. That's a bit niche, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I can understand.
Just Victorian ones.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of variety in Victoria's salmon fishing?
Like, oh no, that's a I don't want that.
I think one big thing I've learned in my years of collecting is you want to get a niche like that, Victorian specifically, salmon specifically. Otherwise, you just end up with a whole bunch of crap from everything.
So what you're saying is you should have gone for just Gundam, not any mobile suit, or
maybe or I might change the focus to just Xeon kits. But it is one. Then you have a very specific thing, so you know what you're looking for, and then you don't have to just grab everything. Like I know people who collect only master grades, so there's only about 210 of those versus thousands of grades.
Yeah,
that's the other thing that I not knowing much about Gundams and things from your stash. Are they all different scales?
Yeah. So these ones here are all 1144, along with these ones. These are just more detailed versions. These ones here are all 160, except for the Falcon, and then these big boxes down here are all 1100.
So there's no Gundams that are in 1/72nd.
No,
no. You have to.
So you've chosen the wrong scale to get it all. You've done it wrong. You're gonna have to start again on 144.
Yeah, you can get custom. You can get custom resin kits that are in 1/72nd, and that's what I'm looking at. Because finding a 144 car, that's the part. If you know where to get one, let me know, please, because that's where I gave up. I wanted to make a little car, but it would be so small. They don't make model kits for that.
No, they really don't. On Shapeways, you can get some small individual, like 3D printed, just tiny, 144 scale stuff. But it's not a kit. It's one thing. You can paint it, but.
I don't recommend getting into 1/35th Gunpla. That's exceptionally expensive. There's not many of them, but they're very expensive.
They have a few busts. I'm learning resin kits are super expensive. That's kind of the thing that I wanted to focus on, since you're allergic to resin. Give me a nice little area to work in. Plus, there's not a lot of, from what I could tell on YouTube, a lot of like tutorials. The long form type that focus on resin, so I wanted to do that. But each one of those is, the Kshatriya is $780.
Yeah, then the resin is ridiculously expensive, and that's purely because I've said it before. That's purely because when you make a resin kit, whoever makes the kit, it's a limited run by definition, because the mold can only make so many copies.
Right. But it sort of wears out, or.
Well, it's like if you make let's say I've got this, and I make some molds of this, and I want to make a resin model of this glue pot. That mold might be good for, say, 100 uses, and over just the process of using it, it expands, it breaks down, it degrades. So they'll often make like 1 or 2 or 3 molds, and like if you look at Games Workshop stuff, they have the master mold, which is taken from the test model that the guy actually builds, or from the CAD print. They have the master mold, which they make it, the mold, and then they put it in the vault, and they never touch it. And then they have the second mold, which goes to make the one that you see on the box art. And then they have a third mold, which is the production mold, which is the one that makes the thing that you buy in the shop. So you always get the third generation whenever you buy that kind of things. That's for Forge World.
Pascal sent you another link, George, about the decal sheets he's talking about.
Oh, nice.
Asking about the size for them. And Jono says, I collected die-cast model cars from about the age of 10, normally 1/16th scale. Also hats from different towns, places I've been to, and also stubby holders. What's a stubby holder?
Stubby's a can of beer. He's Australian.
He's Australian.
Beer can. Little short, not the 44, not 440 ml, the little ones.
Oh, right. So it's a can holder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little stabby, mate. Little stabby.
It could have been anything. I don't know. Different towns and places. All right. Is it? That's a we don't have can holder things really. We got them for cars and stuff. Maybe a couple, but they're not exactly a collectible thing.
I'm guessing that's more of an Australian thing. But yeah, George, there are actually some 1/35th scale Gunpla, like literally the whole mobile suit.
Yeah.
But it's G series or something. They're not Bandai.
Yeah, G Systems probably.
System, that's it.
The problem is like, so this, I have this. I don't know how to fix stuff like this, so I'm gonna have to figure that out.
What is it? I mean, what's wrong?
Resin, and it came.
No, yeah, correct.
I'm guessing I can use that plastic magic glue that's to glue everything, or just use CA glue.
No, resin is CA or epoxy glue, basically.
But then I worry about how big that crack or how to make that crack invisible. So there are a lot of things that I don't know. I have a couple resin stuff like here and in here. Oh my God, that smell is terrible. And in here, and there's another one down there too. Apparently, I've got a lot of resin stuff that I've already purchased.
I've forgotten about.
Without knowing about, I must have done it while I was asleep. It wasn't my fault, darling.
Yeah. No, I mean, so me and my wife, we each have our own kind of discretionary money. So we take our incomes and they make up a ratio or a percentage. So she makes about 40% of all of our income, and I make 60%.
Yeah.
And so she pays 40% of the mortgage. I pay 60% of the mortgage. And then once all the bills are paid, and
that's right. Yeah, whatever's
stuff
left after you paid for the important stuff, you can do what you like with.
Yeah.
Sounds perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
So it allows me to buy this stuff, but the only thing that she gets upset about is when we run out of room. So then we bought a house, and now we have room. Except the garage is slowly starting to get filled with stuff too.
You should get a bigger house.
Yeah. Put an extension on the side of it.
That's what bigger houses are for.
Yeah. Well, our houses here are pretty large. This one is I have 4 bedrooms. I have 2 children, so they each have a bedroom, and then we share one, and then I have this one as my workshop. But my children are, one of them is 13, the other one's 10. So after 8 years, then we might downsize, and then I have to think about where does all of this go in a much smaller place.
No, you don't need to go to a smaller place. Get rid of the kids,
Yeah.
and then you've got an extra room for you can have the tank room and the plane room.
Yeah, because they don't need to go to college or anything like that. Just don't worry about that. They can just go and get a job. They'll be fine. All that money can go into your other stuff then.
Yeah. Well, they have college funds that I put money into, but I mean, hopefully someday before they're adults, we'll get that free college system that they keep mentioning over here.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, things might happen. You never know.
So, then I can use that money to buy the tanks. That's when I'll pick up the tank hobby.
LD's in saying evening, and Jono's telling us more about stubbies. He says stubby holders are made from different materials, but they hold your bottle or can of beer typically to keep your drink cool and cold. But any can or bottle of drink can be put in them. Yeah,
John O.M., are you in fact John O.M. in Australia?
Yes, he's.
We do seem to, like me and you, Chris, we do seem to have started this thing where we both regularly get Australians in chat, and it's fantastic. Yeah,
it's lovely. I'm very happy to be global. The thing that say people in other countries to us in England and Britain don't understand is we don't need anything to keep our can of drink cold because it's always cold.
Yeah.
The 2 weeks of the year that it gets above 20 degrees or 68 or whatever it was George was saying earlier, we worry about it then, but it's not, air conditioning is something that happened to other people.
The other thing, of course, is for the most of the time as well, we're not actually using cans, we're drinking from bottles. So,
yeah,
if you're drinking from a can, you're probably hanging out in a bush shelter, and you're not really worried about temperatures and things.
Yeah, Pascal says just like in the Netherlands, always cold and rainy. Yep.
Oh, so yeah, that's the trade-off is you have rain all the time.
we had a little bit of rain today, but not very much. But apparently the weekend's going to rain.
Oh, we've just had glorious sunshine all day.
It's been sunshine, then it came over cloudy, and there's a few spots of rain, and then it went away again.
Yeah, we've had summery temperatures. The bees are out in force everywhere in the garden. It was brilliant.
So is there a big difference weather-wise between the two of you?
Not so much as you'd think. I mean, we're a couple of 100 miles, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, generally,
which for Americans is like just down the road, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's as far as I go to work. So
yeah. Chris being down south tends to get more hot, sunny weather than we do. But we've also got the Pennines, which is the big mountain range, and we get obviously more rain because of those. So
they do say it's grim up north.
Yeah,
and they're right.
Up north, or like north Scotland north.
He's almost in Scotland, as far as I'm concerned.
When they say it's Grimlock North, it's all referring to England. They don't count Scotland in that. Because you have the north. When you go to the north is the north of England. Because Scotland is just Scotland.
Yeah, so it's like Game of Thrones.
You have like the south of England, you have the north of England, and then you have Scotland on top. But you're going north and then to Scotland. Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, well, they got that wall, haven't they?
Yeah, that's true. Winter is coming.
Not that wall, the wall, Adrian's wall looks like 2 foot tall in a couple of bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winter is coming. The Scots are coming.
Spruglu tells me to wash my mouth out with soap. I'm not sure why. What did I say?
Don't know. Did you say something about Southerners or Northerners?
I didn't say anything about Southerners. I think they're lovely people.
Did you say that Southerners weren't ponces and stuff or something? I don't know.
Well, that's also true. Yes. So, yeah. No, there's not much difference in weather really between us and him, but it's.
My sister-in-law came over from the US many years ago. The first time she ever came over from the US, she'd never been outside America, and she couldn't believe, first of all, that to her, like, to go to the next town was like 100-mile trip, and the next state was like hundreds of miles down the interstate. Whereas to us, she said, you drive for 2 minutes in your car and you've gone through 6 towns, 4 counties, and like 18 different accents.
Yeah.
She said, I can't get my head around this at all. Like, you've just done a trip which for me is going to the grocery store, and I've gone through like 18 different dialects.
Yeah. It's very different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have one of the guys I work with who kind of helps, is one of our support people. He's from England, although he's been here a long time. And that's what he told me, is that you guys kind of are born in a place and you stay in that place and you never leave that place. And so you have all these pocketed accents where here in the US, you generally don't, at least for everyone I know, you don't stay where you were born. You move into the big cities and then you start losing. Like, I used to have a really thick Southern accent because I grew up in Lower Alabama. Yeah, but now that I left there 20 years ago, and I obviously don't have it anymore. So.
Yeah, I mean, people do move around. It's not like we're all just like live in a village and then die in a village, but a lot of people don't. Some do, some don't. But a lot of people tend to stay. I don't know. We've got so many different accents. I don't think people really lose accents that much, to be honest.
No, I've got some family that moved up north, and they did have young children when they went up there, and the kids have picked up the strong accent, but the grown-ups obviously didn't really change. So.
Well, I've said before, but my brother sounds like me, and my sister-in-law comes from Hull, so she sounds like no. But they live in Essex. They live in Chelmsford. So when I first heard my nephew speak years ago, of course, I'm used to my brother sounding like me, and Heather sounding like who's the painter? The Bradford painter. What's his name?
I don't know.
Splash. David Hockney. My sister sounds like David Hockney. My brother sounds like me. And the kid went, Daddy, I need a knife. I'm like, what? Where's this child from? How has this happened?
Jono confirms that he's Aussie.
Right.
He says, good point, Chris. Yeah, it does get hot over here. We had 3 days straight here in my town area where the temperature was 47 degrees C, which wasn't the hottest for us summer in Oz. 47? No, yeah. I don't think we've ever had 47 degrees.
No, we've never really gone.
If it gets to 30 in a bit, then we all melt.
I think like 32 is the highest we've ever gone in Wales somewhere once last year, I think.
Yeah, in someone's oven.
When I was really young, I lived in Arizona, and it got to 50 of your degrees Celsius.
50 of your Earth degrees.
And that was so hot that it actually felt like your skin was just going to melt off.
Yeah, that's halfway to boiling water, basically.
That's not normal people temperature, is it?
No.
Elding says he failed his blood test miserably. I'm sorry to hear that. You need to revise and take it again, or do something to make it better. But
cheat next time.
Yeah, cheat. Use somebody else's.
Yep.
And Chancellor NW is in. Evening all. Evening, Chancellor.
Hello, matey.
It's 9 o'clock, so we've done an hour. We're in for another 30 minutes if time stays the same as it normally does throughout my streams.
Can I point out for George, by the way, that in the time we've been doing it out, I've literally sanded 3 parts. Just so you know how much is going into this, I've literally sanded 3 parts.
So just to share with you as well, I got some beads, and I got the little fin, and I got the little bit that holds the back of the beads and the front of the beads. So I'm going about the same speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done absolutely nothing. I've done nothing at all. So
that's because you're a slacker.
Me.
You're rubbish.
Yeah.
I was going to say, oh yes, I've got a very important question for the chat. Very important thing to say.
Okay, they're all paying attention.
Okay, I'll let Dad ask it for me if he's still in the chat.
Yeah.
Dad, you know what I'm going to ask?
I haven't seen him for a little while. He might be asleep.
I'll let you ask the question, Dad.
Tiger Tank 2's in, saying Heidi ho, neighbours.
Hey, Tiger Tank 2.
LD says they wanted the blood sugar reading to be 48. I smashed that and got 120.
Yeah, you're doing that wrong, son. Son, that dog ain't going to hunt.
Did you accidentally eat sugar cubes before you went for your test or something? Or
yeah,
that's not good. You should take better care of yourself than that.
My friend many years ago, when he was diagnosed with diabetes, only mild diabetes, and he had the little test thing, and I've been around to his house, and he lived next door to a pub, which is never a good thing for a diabetic. So we went out for some beers the night before. We had a curry and stuff. We came out the next morning because I crashed over at his house, and I got downstairs to make a room. He's in the kitchen doing his doing a little prick in his thumb to check his blood sugar level. He said, "Do you want to find out what your blood sugar is?" I'm like, "Yeah, go on." So he goes, "Okay, ding," and I'm like, "Ow, get." And he sits there, and he sits there, and his face just becomes thunder, because he's like, at the time, bless him, he had a bit of a weight issue. He's got rid of all of that now, but he's a bit overweight, and he was dieting really hard. He was working really hard to lose weight and stuff. And he said, "I hate you." I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, because your blood sugar reading, you should pretty much, after all the beer and curry you had, you should kind of be dead because your blood sugar reading is like 2." He said, "Mine's like 35 and yours is 2. How are you even alive?"
Well, many years ago, I don't remember where it was. It was some like a Ideal Home Show thing or something, and they were doing body mass index thing just before it became really popular and everyone was doing it. So it's a long time ago. Yeah. And they measured my BMI and it was like 7.
Is that good? I don't know what that means.
Well, apparently it normally is like sort of 10 to 15 or something, and more than 30's obese.
Okay.
So 7 was like, really low. It's like, do you diet specially? It's like, no, I just eat what I want. But I was young and,
I used to be like that.
Used to be like that. And then this happened. But, it's taken years of effort to get a body like this.
I've been skinny all my life, and I could eat like a horse, and all my female friends hated my guts until last year when I stopped smoking. And now I'm getting the pot belly. I've got the pants that are no longer fit. I'm like, oh.
You didn't even ask the question, but Spruglu says, "I'm hungry and nothing on my bench."
Okay, I'm guessing Dad might not be.
Pascal says, "I'm eating bolognese chips, and currently the printer is printing decals." And then he says, "So what's in your belly and on your bench?"
Yeah. So for everybody, belly and bench. What's in your belly, or what will be in your belly, and what's on your bench? They all know the question.
Let me ask what's for dinner. I'll get that information.
Jamie says, "I went to my local wargaming shop today for the Army Painter sprue cutters and only came out with the Army Painter sprue cutters." Well done.
You're doing it wrong.
That's the way to do it. That's the correct way.
Yeah, but you know why? Because it wasn't a Warhammer store.
And you have a list of stuff to go into. Like the only thing I picked up when I wasn't there, went to my Warhammer shop, was the paint holder, the painting handle.
If you go into a non-Warhammer store, you can just go in and browse and come out with nothing more than you need, because they're friendly. If you go into a Warhammer store, the money is just sucked out of your wallet before you even realise it.
No, and they've actually changed it. It used to be a Games Workshop store, but now it's actually a Warhammer store.
They're all
the new sign at the top and everything I've done last week. So,
yeah, they're all branded as Warhammer now.
Yeah, and I got my free gift. If you didn't watch my Warhamster stream on Sunday, I got a free gift when I went in. I got one of them. Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's a Stormcast Eternal Sequitur.
That's it. Age of Sigmar nonsense.
But yeah, so See, more stuff to do that I didn't pay for.
Oh, Dad says yes. Sorry, been making a brew. Dad, we asked you to ask the question. You weren't there for us, man.
Shane says that's hyperglycemic. I'm not sure what we were talking about then, if it was me or if it was
120.
LD. Shane says, I'm 6 foot and weigh 8 stone 7.
That's thin.
Yeah, that's nothing. Yeah, have a cheeseburger. Quick.
My leg weighs 8 stone 7.
Get me a cheeseburger stat.
What's a stone? 20 pounds?
These
3
things,
pounds?
I don't know.
70 kilograms. Well, for example,
It is 7 pounds, so
a typical like 18-year-old guy might weigh between 13 to 18 stone. So
Wait a minute. How come you'd not use pounds and stones, but you do use Fahrenheit? You can't have it both ways, you know.
well, yeah. No, we use pounds, but I've never heard stones before.
that's pre.
You just say I weigh 160 pounds, and
Right.
Well, you know how us Brits always criticize the Americans for having like outdated measurements and mixing and matching, metric and non-metric. Yeah, we do that as well, but we just don't tell you because it gives you ammunition.
Yeah.
So we do decimal and also things like stone.
Pounds is 16 in a stone, and 12, 14. It's one of them.
Phil Kett says Domino's cheeseburger pizza in my belly and nothing on my bench. Haven't started anything yet after finishing my Daleks. Dad says, what's on your bench and in your belly? Oops, too late.
LD says belly, steak and salad. Bench got 2 boxes of 00 driver and C5 Zaku got to choose.
oh, nice.
I don't know. Jono says it will be breakfast for me soon.
Zazda says, I wonder if people go into Games Workshop stores looking for box games and computer games, etc. No, the reason they changed it from Games Workshop to Warhammer is because they stopped selling everything apart from Warhammer. The part of their rebranding was all they are known for is Warhammer. So they stopped selling Forge World, they stopped selling Lord of the Rings and all that. So the ones that are still called Games Workshop, you might be able to get stuff like Lord of the Rings and other things. But the Warhammer stores now are they just sell Warhammer 40k and Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
They should brand themselves as Citadel, really, shouldn't they? Because they do Citadel paints. It's not Warhammer paints.
No, there's all kind of history because Citadel was a completely different brand. Citadel was a different company that they took over. I think Citadel made some of the miniatures and metal miniatures. It's all really complicated. It's really weird. It was all rebranded about 8 years ago.
See, this next thing that I've got to do, the Orc Battle Wagon, it's got Citadel on it. It's got 40k, Games Workshop, and Citadel.
Yeah, that's old. That's older.
So,
Can you show the picture again? We didn't. I didn't get to see it. You like flashed it for half a second.
I'm sorry. There you go.
You show the camera.
That's what I'm doing. The Orc Battle Wagon. Once I finish the Orcs, I'll be doing the Battle Wagon thing.
Yeah, they just rebranded a lot. They kind of relaunched themselves in about 2012 when they relaunched all the new Citadel paints and stuff. The CEO before 2012 was a complete spoon who didn't have any interest in the customers at all, or any kind of social media. Then he left and he got a new guy who was like, right, we are now a 21st century company. Let's actually have some decent PR, and they rebranded and changed everything. So
Zanster says £14. So there's £14 in a stone. Knew it was around there somewhere.
Yeah,
that's,
there you go.
That's such a weird. That's such a weird. I guess it's the same thing, like 12 inches and
exactly. It's a case of we've already used that. We can't use that again. So we'll have ounces. We better use.
Yeah, you should
16 ounces in a pound because we've used 14 and 12 already.
If you want confusing, try and figure out British pre-decimal currency. I've never been able to figure it out.
Yeah, I was born the year it changed, so I didn't even need to figure it out.
Pounds, shillings, and pence, and 112 pence in a something, and I don't, God knows.
Zadster says because bonkers imperial units. There you go.
Yeah.
And Dad says dailies were superb, Phil, and then he says dailies again, and then he says Daleks. Bloody auto doodah.
Dude, has he got the auto carrot on?
He's got auto carrots on that don't like Daleks apparently.
Jamie said something but retracted it, so we'll never know what it was.
I didn't catch it. No, I just saw it was retracted, but didn't see what it was before.
Just teaching us with comments that we can never now see.
Jamie says I'm 19 and 6'3" and weigh 10 stone 3.
Yeah. See,
So that's 143 pound.
Between like 10 and 15 stone is about normal for between like 18 and 20-year-old man, probably, who's not overweight or underweight particularly.
See, I don't think I'm overweight. I think I'm just short.
When I was a young lad, when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I used to be like, I might vary between like 10 and 13 stone. And I used to have a 33-inch waist. 33-inch waist.
Yeah, I always used to get 32-inch trousers. Yeah.
I couldn't even put a 33-inch waist pair of trousers over one leg if I tried now.
Jono's asking me, have I done the massive tank build video yet? The one with the 2 smaller normal tanks you've already done. Not yet, and they're not smaller normal tanks. They're massive tanks as well.
Yeah.
That's a normal tank in 144 scale, and that's the mouse.
The mouse is actually the biggest World War II.
So yeah, they're bigger than normal. But no, I haven't done the other one yet. I will be, and it's my next proper project to do. But I got distracted because the Terminator delivery came, and then I got the X-Wing delivery came today. So I've done that, and maybe at the weekend I'll get round to actually starting on the Rat.
Shane Young's is 55 kilograms in new money. That's 55 bags of. You know what? Whenever I think of kilograms, I have to think it's a bag of sugar. So he's the same weight as 55 bags of sugar.
Yeah, but bags of sugar come in different sizes, you know.
I know. But this is as Mama Fox found out when she bought a bag of sugar from Amazon now, and it turned out to be a 5 kilogram bag that we're still going through a month later. I was like, blimey, you got that order wrong, didn't you?
Chuck says egg rolls and a repulsor.
Ooh. After
Chris, you didn't say what you ate. You didn't say what was in your belly. You just showed what you worked on.
Who's that?
Chris, he said what's on his bench. He didn't say what's in his belly.
I didn't do my belly. What did I have tonight? I had it was 8 hours ago. Some sort of meat thing with some potatoes and some vegetable.
You had your dinner at 1 p.m.
No, it wasn't that many hours ago, but it was like 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
What about you, Fox?
On my bench right now is the Mastrogator Zabi, as we all know. For my belly, well, I had to take Mama Fox to the doctors this morning for a regular checkup. So, unfortunately, right next door to the doctors is a place that does a full English breakfast to take away. So we've kind of got in the habit of Mum goes to have blood pressure checked and all that kind of stuff for the normal regular checkup, and I go in and buy 2 mega breakfasts, which will then negate any tests she has done. So we came home and had them at 9:30 this morning, and we both sat there and thought, you know what, we're not going to want any dinner tonight. Except about an hour before this show, I thought, I'm kind of hungry, so I went downstairs. And about 2 weeks ago, I ordered a packet of ramen noodles on Amazon now when we were doing a shopping order. Unfortunately, it was a box of 48 packets. So I got something wrong as well. So I had a couple of packets of ramen noodles for my tea.
Yep. I do remember that on Monday night on the E-Model stream, people were talking about cheeseburgers and things. Yeah. And then a picture was sent out a little bit after that, which was like midnight.
Yeah. If anybody didn't watch the Monday night for E-Model stream, Sergeant Bones mentioned that he was having a cheeseburger pizza, which blew my tiny dinosaur brain because I'd never heard of that. But then from that point, if you watch the show from that point, you may notice that from that point on, I'm completely distracted and not paying attention because all I could think about was I need to go to McDonald's and get some cheeseburgers. So at like 11:30 at night, I sent the guys a photograph of me at McDonald's saying, I'm buying goddamn cheeseburgers. Thanks, Sergeant Bones.
Yeah.
Auto characters on, says Dad. Jamie Bones says, my local Warhammer store sells Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, Citadel, Vallejo, Team Yankee, and Flames of War. Are you sure they're a Warhammer store and not like a third-party store then? Because normally Warhammer stores don't sell non-Warhammer stuff. It sounds like it might be a third party. I could be wrong, but let me know. Because if it is a Warhammer store, wow, that's pretty good. Because normally they don't sell anything not produced by Games Workshop.
Phil Lewis says, belly was chipolata sausages, baked spud and baked beans. Bench is painting assorted 172nd German railway flatbed wagons.
Chipolata. Mickle Pickle says the great Games Workshop store that's closest to me is attached to a distribution hub. Distribution.
Does that mean they're good at delivering stuff to you?
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
And Spruglew's telling you that Iceland sell chocolate pizza, Fox.
Oh, we've got Iceland around the corner. Oh,
Yeah, but they'll be shut now.
Oh,
They'll be open tomorrow.
Yay! It's at least a 5-yard walk. Oh, I need the exercise. Yeah. Oh.
Chancellor says, I used to have a photo of the national kilogram standard weight saved on my phone. It was actually a thrill to see it.
If I remember rightly, isn't that somewhere in France, the actual kilogram? I think didn't they recently change it? They actually replaced it with a new one, I think.
Made it up something different.
No, they just, because the thing is, I remember watching I'm sure it was a Horizon thing, it was a documentary, and they were saying that basically somewhere in France, wherever it is, they have this block of, I think it's titanium, I can't remember what it is, it's some block of metal of some sort, and it's the standard measure for a kilogram.
It's probably not titanium because that'd be massive.
No, and it's also, this was like 17 or 18.
It'd be far bigger than it needs to be.
Yeah, it's a block of iron or steel or something.
Yeah, it'd be lead or something. Or...
It was the standard measure of a kilogram. It's the same. They've also got in wherever it is in France, they've got the standard measure of a meter.
Yep.
They based it on. But over the couple of hundred years or whatever, of course, it's naturally degraded. It's lost atoms. Only we're talking literally atoms. But with it being handled and it's very carefully looked after, but it's lost atomic weight. It's lost weight very, very slightly.
Yeah. Well, and measuring technology has got better, so it might not have been exactly accurate to begin with, but
yeah. So I think they're saying about they're going to have to change it, or they might change it. Oh, Jamie says I think they're a third-party store. Yeah. If you've got a third-party store, Jamie, treasure it. Absolutely treasure it. Because Games Workshop, Warhammer stores are great for Warhammer, but if you've got a third-party store that sells other stuff, treasure it. Give them your custom. Spend your money there. They'll stay in business and you'll have happiness all around. I wish I had a third-party store, but I don't. So if I want something that's not Warhammer, I have to go online.
Yeah.
Well.
Chancellor says it's now defined by a device called Watt Balance. There you go. So they don't need it.
Like what balance? Like what car?
Yeah, like What Car magazine. It's What Balance thing.
What
it says the old 1 kilogram is a platinum iridium alloy.
That's it.
And it was shedding atoms. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. It's a special metal of happiness of some sort. I don't know what that means.
Well, it used to be the meter was something, but now it's defined by light seconds and things, isn't it?
Yes, they change it all to make it more accurate.
To make it, yeah.
Yes.
Because they don't have a second in a display case to measure things against.
No, unless it's like half a noodle.
Is it? There's 7 or 8 standard international, it's just CCM International units, isn't it? It's length, mass, time, and some others.
Yeah, length, mass, time, weight, obviously, weight.
No, weight is mass. There's no such thing as weight.
No, that's true. Is one of gravity?
No, because that's not. Well, it might be a Newton. Yeah,
maybe. Or
might be 1 Newton.
Newton's is force, not gravitational.
Gravitation is force. It's.
I tell you what, I was talking to my friend came. And he's got a 4-year-old daughter, and his 4-year-old daughter is going to be really smart because he came down to breakfast the other night and she went, "Daddy, talk about black holes."
Zedster says gravity is meters per second. Yeah, it's 9.2, isn't it? 9.2-ish. 9.2 meters per second. Squared.
Have you just out-scienced me? God damn it.
I'm just going to Google SI units because I want to know what they are now.
Grey Wolf is in. Hey guys, how you doing? Says Grey Wolf. He or she says, I don't know which.
This might be a stupid question, says Stuart Rose. There's no stupid questions here.
No stupid
where do you get the sanding sticks from?
I get my sanding sticks.
The ultimate one is what Fox is using there.
From my channel sponsors, emodels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for making needs.
Make something awesome.
Too.
Yeah, make something awesome. Yes, I use 2. I use Ultimate Sanding Sticks, which are fantastic. They're from Ultimate Modeling Products. And I also have a couple of Phil Flores polishers and buffers, which apparently don't exist anymore. They're brilliant. If you can find them, they're brilliant. We talked about this on my stream last night. I love the UMP sticks. They're great.
All right, there are 3, 4, 7. Yeah, 7 standard units of scientific base units.
1 second. I need to close a window, guys. Give me 1 second.
What did we had length, mass, and something else. What was the other one that we had?
Was it time?
Time. No, time is not one. Oh, yes, it's time. There it is. Yeah, time, length, and mass. So we got them ones right.
Is light?
There's luminous intensity. It's light. Temperature, obviously, which is done in kelvins, which is the same as Celsius and centigrade, but much higher. And amps, electric current. And the other one I don't understand is amount of substance. It's measured in moles.
Oh.
I've got no idea.
Yeah, you use that in chemistry a lot.
Okay, but amount of substance, surely that's mass or length, or it seems like
I think it's closer to volume. I think it's closer to volume than anything else, if I remember right.
All right. Yeah. System also specifies names for 22 derived units, such as lumens and watts and other common physical quantities. So 1 mole is a specific number of atoms, said Zadster. Don't forget dark matter, says Spruglu.
Did we find out what all the units were? Don't you? You have to repeat. Don't repeat.
Yeah, you were gone. We got 3 of them. We got time, length, and mass. There's also electric current and temperature.
What? The degree Celsius?
Actually, ampere is the electric current.
Yeah. Sorry,
temperature is kelvins. Luminous intensity
is the
brightness.
It's light level, which is done in candelas.
Candelas, oh yeah.
And amount of substance, which is moles, which is what we don't know about.
That's
so it's a specific number of atoms, apparently, according to Zadster.
Yeah.
And there you go. 6.022 times 10 to the power of 23 atoms in 1 mole.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that a number that
I can think of?
I'm a little worried that you knew that number off the top of your head.
All I can think of now is look around you in intelligent calcium.
I'm just thinking of moles.
Mole. It's MOL.
It is.
E. I think it's got an E on
It's got an E on the end of it, yeah. Chancellor says, I'm a meteorologist, science of measurement. Not a meteorologist, not a meteorologist. Meteorologist, science of measurement. I tend to get a bit obsessive about measuring things.
Cool. 20th of May is National Metrology Day, says Chancellor. I may be taken to work to celebrate. Brilliant. I'll take any cake any day. Come to my work.
Yeah, but what cake are you going to bring? And is it, it's got to be, 1 meter, 1 meter long or something, or 1 mole is in my calculator. Can't say I used it since school though, says that stuff.
Yeah, I used it a lot in chemistry in college, but then I'm not a chemist. I'm an engineer, so there's no need to use it.
I'm not a chemical scientist.
Yeah, no, it's not real science, is it? Chemistry.
No, when I was at school, unfortunately, we had when I was at school, it was still the days of physics, biology, and chemistry as 3 separate lessons.
Yep.
Which would be great. Apart from chemistry was just the spawn of Satan, and I hated every minute of it because it didn't understand any of it. Biology was fine, but a bit rubbish because the teacher could never be bothered, so we just sat and watched QED in the lessons. That was fine. We dissected eyeballs.
I like QED.
Physics was the most disappointing because I was bored at the time because all we learned how to do was like basics of Newton's laws and how to make a circuit, and that was it. If we'd learned quantum physics at secondary school, I would have been the happiest boy. I'd be a scientist now. I'd be a physics scientist or something, but no.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they do more than that now, don't they? They do different sciencey things.
Yeah, because I love science now as an adult, as a old bloke. I love science. I will watch physics documentaries and science documentaries, and I love it, and I'll find it fascinating, and I learn watching these things. But school,
yeah, but you won't watch chemistry or biology stuff, though, will you?
Well, I do actually.
Yeah.
I'll happily watch a material science documentary with Mark Dubrovnik or whatever his name is on the BBC. Because it's all chemistry. It's all fascinating now.
Yeah.
It's just the stuff we learned at chemistry at secondary school in the 80s was so boring. Like learning the periodic table was not exciting.
Yeah, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, neon. No, that's the only bit. I learned the first 20, I think, for some reason. But yeah,
you now need to sing the entire periodic table, but to the tune of Yakko's Song of All the Countries.
Yeah, there you go.
No, someone you can Google it. It's on YouTube. You'll be able to find it. No, it was not to that. It's a different tune, isn't it?
No, when they did Yakko. No, I'm saying Yakko's country song.
Yeah, no, there is a song of the periodic elements has a song.
Oh yes, I know, but that was boring.
But it's very quick.
I was doing an Animaniacs reference. George got it.
I got it. Yeah, I did.
It is the best song ever written, even though it's not fully strictly correct. But you know what amazes me about that? I watched an interview with the voice actor that played Yakko, and he can still sing the song today.
Nice.
In the interview, he sang it, and I'm like, wow, he knows the song off by heart 20 years later.
Yeah, how many times did he have to sing it to get it right first time? You know,
apparently it was first take.
Really? Oh, right.
He had it in front of him and he just sang it. I tried learning it once for comedy and it was no.
Zedster says it's sung to modern Major General, I think. Yeah, probably that sounds about right.
The periodic table is
yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Gilbert and Sullivan isn't copyright.
It's probably they're dead now, aren't they? So no.
Yeah, probably are.
Fine. Well, it's not a recording either; it's a performance, so you're okay, I think.
Yeah, true.
So yeah. Well, we're approaching the end of the show again. So, any last orders? Anyone?
Oh, I found out what I'm eating for dinner. It's Korean barbecue.
Ooh, sounds nice. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds great.
Stupid Zaku. Not making any progress.
You'll get there.
Yeah, it's the fun of doing it or something, apparently.
Really, when you can get a replacement sprue for those bits.
Well, I already got them on there, so I'm just not looking forward to the diorama I'm building requires 3 of these. So I'm not looking forward to the other 2.
Yeah, because don't forget, like with any Gunpla kit, not only do you get weapons fatigue once you've built the mobile suit, and you're like, oh, I've still got the weapons. You also get like multiple limb fatigue. So you build one arm, and you're like, oh crap, I've still got 2 legs and an arm to go yet.
Yeah.
So building 3 of them.
Yeah, that's definitely more than 2 arms, isn't it?
Could be worse. Though. Could be a perfect grade. Wow, that would be just building that 3 times.
You've lost me again. You're talking about things that I don't understand.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be allowed on my own channel. It should be
being a guest on your own show.
Thank you for joining me, you two, and thank you, 36 people watching. Thank you all for watching. As ever, it's same again. Thursday night tonight. So what we got? Nothing tomorrow. Nothing Saturday. Get a couple of days off. Sunday's Warhamster time. So Fox will probably be doing your 3 o'clock, is it? You've got a tomorrow thing though, haven't you?
I'll be doing my Warhammer stream at 3 o'clock on Sunday, and then Chris, you'll be doing yours at 8 p.m.
8 p.m. BST.
I was going to post your Patreon address again, but it's not copying and pasting for some reason anymore.
They can find it. It's fine. You are doing a thing tomorrow, you said?
Yes. For those of you who are my regular viewers, you'll know I'm doing this Master Grade Sazabi for George there, and I'm going to be spending the next probably 2 weeks just denubbing. As I've done about 4 parts in this show, so the next 2 or 3 months I'll be denubbing parts. And while I'm doing that, although the series itself, when it's filmed, will be a Patreon exclusive, the actual sort of clean-up streams, I'm just doing them as live streams purely so that I can sit here for 6 hours and have people to talk to. Because otherwise, I would just eat my own face off if I just sat here and did all this. So I'll be doing, over the next couple of weeks, I'll be doing lots of streams of me just doing this. Hanging out.
Jono says, thanks again, gents. I'll keep posting to the Boom Hut when I can. Take care. One day we should do a meet-up convention. Yeah, you'll have to come here, though, because I don't travel that far.
Yeah, if you go to Chris, then you all come to me.
Bye-bye, says Spruglu. Shane says, thanks, guys. We'll take care.
Pascal puts the Patreon.
Pascal put in my Patreon link, so yeah.
How is Pascal putting URLs in your chat?
It was held for review, and I said it was all right.
Oh, okay.
Because it's all right.
Yeah.
There should be a button to say, yeah, it's okay. They can do what they like.
Well, you can turn links on and off, but that's never a good idea.
Spruglu says that George, send me the fork and I'll build it for you.
You know, Fox has got one of those too. I think he's closer. You probably sent his.
No, Fox's isn't Fox's.
Oh yeah, it doesn't even belong
So,
to him.
no.
I've got a falcon that's about 6 foot below my butt in a room downstairs.
Yeah, so no. I think he probably wants you to send it to him so he can build it for you, and then he'll look after it for you as well, and put it on a shelf for you.
Yeah, I'll build it and I'll look after it and I'll love it and hold it and call it my own. Hey George.
Yeah. Dad says meet up at Telford. Yeah, Telford's coming up in November, isn't it? We're trying to get Fox to go this year.
I don't know, because that means me A, leaving the house, and B, leaving the house, C, leaving the house.
I might have to go and pick Fox up.
It's not going to happen, is it? I didn't do public things, you know me.
Yeah, well, we could kidnap you.
There is that. As long as the kidnapping involves me giving a doped cheeseburger.
Yeah, we feed you a cheeseburger, and a trail of cheeseburgers leading out to the car.
I'm not getting in the car. It's a cheeseburger. Ooh. What could possibly go wrong? Oh.
Chancellor says there is a YouTube modelers meet up at Telford. There has been the last couple of years I've been. Not an official everything, but we just sort of arrange and meet up. We're all, on Facebook groups and the Boom Hut and stuff, so you can all message each other and say, we'll see you by that guy that's got the funny thing with the stand and the stuff. And, well, yeah, or we'll meet you in the bar.
Yeah, there's always the bar usually. I was going to go actually last year, but Mum Fox was poorly sick, so
yeah. And Dad says he'll pick you up. He's only 30 minutes away.
Yay! Thanks,
so
Dad.
yeah, there you go. You got a lift and no excuses.
Oh,
he'll bring donuts. He might not bring cheeseburger, but he'll bring donuts. It'll be okay.
Laced with sedatives.
So thank you all for joining me again this evening. As I say, tomorrow Foxy's thing, and then Sunday Foxy's thing, then my thing, and then Monday's e-models again, because next week we're here, but then we're not the week after.
Bank holiday.
It's bank holiday. Sunday, my war hamster. I'm not doing the one the week after, so I'll tell you about that on Sunday, but I'm having a week off from it as well. So all of that's that. The Spruglu says, just think of all the things you can steal at Telford, Fox.
Oh yeah.
No, he doesn't steal anymore. That was in his troubled youth. He doesn't do it anymore.
On table and steal like 25 unweathered Spitfires. Or maybe I couldn't, because that's really boring.
Yeah, no. So thank you all. Don't forget, check my previous video, the 2,000 subscriber giveaway one. Comment, win a mug. Got a couple of weeks to worry about that anyway, but go do that. Have fun, build things, and eat stuff. Pretty much it, yeah. Don't poke my subscribers, Fox. Leave them alone.
I'm going to do the go off and be awesome, but I can't. That looks rude, actually. I'm going to stop doing that. It looks a bit savoury, doesn't it?
Right, I'm going to click the button and say goodbye now. So thank you both for joining me, and we'll see you next time, maybe sometime. And good night, everybody.
Adios.
Bye, guys.